fresh off practice and another big win by the Union, 3-0 over Cincinnati this week. We've got Philadelphia Union captain and midfielder Alejandro Bedoya. How you doing today, Alejandro?
Yes, sir. How? I'm doing all right. How about you? Yourself? I'm enjoying this nice weather.
We can't complain. The weather's great. We're watching the Union play some great soccer out there. Get to talk to you. Been a crazy season, but the resiliency of this team keeps kind of showing through. Can you tell us what it's been like this year out there with this group of guys going to battle?
Yeah, it's a lot of stop and start and stop and start and so much uncertainty. You know, it's just such a unique, bizarre year for everyone in our country or around the world for that matter. But I think, like you said the right word, I think that our team's been really resilient, you know, with all the adversity thrown at us and everything. It's been nice to see, you know, our depth of the team, you know, the fact that we've got such a young team, you know. We've always been talking about this next man up mentality. And it's really shown throughout the last games, you know, where you see at one point, I forget the exact game, but I think there was like 5 or 6 homegrown guys playing on the field at the same time. So, you know, credit to the whole coaching staff, to all the players on the team for really coming together through, you know, strange times and being able to perform on the field and also, you know, do a lot of things, stand for a lot of things off the field.
You've had the opportunity to kind of watch this team grow over the years, homegrown guys, the guys they've built, and kind of grow with Jim Curtin to the point that now you're in second place. You're tied for the most goals in the East, and you have the best goal differential in the East. What's it been like being on the inside, watching the growth of this team and how this team has come together to this point?
It's been great. It's been awesome. I think, you know, like I mentioned earlier, to the coaching staff, for Jim, I think a lot of these guys, the guys like Brendan and Fontana, I think he's coached them since they were like 10, 11, 12 years old, right? So he's known them for a long time. So, you know, besides the X's and O's and all the tactical stuff, part of being a coach is being like a manager, right? A player manager, you know, managing different egos and personalities and things like that. So he's been able to do a great job of, you know, mixing, you know, the veteran guys with the youth and, you know, creating kind of a culture, you know, that word gets thrown around a lot. But I think since I've got here in late 2016 to where we are now, that kind of team culture and spirit within the locker room has really shown itself. And that's the reason why we are where we are. You know, the locker room is really united on all fronts. We've got a good mix. You know, the banter's flying in and out inside the locker room, and that always transcends into on the field. And we've been able to do great things with our players. You know, and the systems that we play. You know, we're able to adapt, playing different formations, and like I said, the next man up, being able to put guys in different areas and just being able to play well. And, you know, that's, like I said, credit back to the coaching staff. I think we've been able to do the best with what we got, maximize what we got, you know, on our team.
You talked about the banter on the team. Is this team a fun team to be around?
Oh, yeah. This team is a lot of fun to be around. You know, I think when I first got here, it was a lot of fun with the banter. You know, that's where kind of this culture kind of started around. You know, my corner was like me, Gooch, Charlie Davies, Chris Pontius, Maurice Adu, Mo, Keegan Roseberry, like all these guys, you know, they're a bunch of pranksters and jokesters. So it was a lot of fun. And then now, you know, you have a great mix of youth and older guys and more foreign guys, you know. So a guy, I think everybody will agree, Sergio Santos is a guy that's high energy, always just messing around, dancing and doing crazy things. And then you got a guy like Aurelian Collin, who he might not play as much, but he's a high energy guy and, you know, always cracking jokes and being funny. And, you know, you need that in the locker room, you know. You know, you try to mix in with the young guys, you know, you try to, you know, you don't pick on them, but you try to get them to show their personality a bit more, right? So a guy like Brendan, who maybe was initially a shy guy, you know, and now he's opened up a bit more. And that's important to have that unity off the field. And, you know, you can have fun off the field, but we're a team that, you know, when the whistle blows between the lines, well, we're all about business and everybody applying themselves and giving a max effort.
And the fans have clearly enjoyed that fun. Jeff and I got to be in the stadium last year for the playoff win against the Red Bulls. I saw on social media the night after you walking off the pitch, Coach Curtin going over to the fans that were outside the gate, you waving to the fans outside the gate. He was asked the other day what it's been like missing fans at Subaru Park, and he said not having them there has been soulless. What's it been like for you as a player to play in empty stadiums, and how excited are you for this Sunday when you get some fans back in the stadium there?
Yeah, I mean, soulless is kind of the right word. It sucks. This game is meant to be played with fans, and the fans are the ones that give you that energy, that extra little motivation. Even when they're talking crap to you, right? You feed off of that energy. So I think they've been missed a lot. You know, I can just remember the game we just played against Toronto up in Hartford, Connecticut. That's just a neutral zone, right? And literally before the game, we're just standing around an extra minute, and you can hear a pin drop. You know, that's not how soccer is meant to be played. You know, it's not golf. So I think I can't wait to have the fans back, even if it's, I don't know the exact number, maybe just under 3,000, I think I was told. They'll still bring some energy, and definitely I'd rather hear them than have to hear maybe, you know, the goalie screaming at me or something. So I think it's just awesome. It just adds to another layer of energy, and that's what this game needs and misses. And I'm looking forward to it.
You've grown up in a soccer family. Your grandfather and your father, I believe, played professional soccer in Colombia. So you've gotten to see the rabid fans of international soccer. What was it like to grow up in a soccer family and kind of see it from the inside as a kid? And what did you learn most from your father and your grandfather, both on the pitch and off?
Yeah, my family, they're Colombians. That's my background. I grew up in a household where soccer was either being listened to on the radio every weekend or watching on TV. You know, I don't think I can get in trouble now saying we had like a black box or something back in the day that we'd be able to get some games. But I think many people had those. But yeah, it's just rooted in our family, and going to games whenever I went to Colombia, it could be intimidating as a kid, you know, the passion that a lot of these fans show and the way they support their teams. You know, for better or worse, I don't know, that's a debate in itself. But I think growing up with soccer culture, you know, you see how passionate and ingrained these fans are, and you're seeing that now, you know, here in Philly with, you know, the Sons of Ben and that side of the stadium, and with a lot of MLS teams that are growing their soccer culture. It's just a unique atmosphere, you know. I think in most American sports, you know, you're used to maybe, you know, going to the stadium, you know, ordering a soda and your nachos or popcorn and sitting there, you know, for entertainment. But you see always a playoff atmosphere that gets ramped up because the fans get more into it. And that's what soccer is all about for 90 minutes. That's what makes it so amazing. And you know, why we miss the fans so much, because they are a big part of the game. And they make a difference. You know, I think they helped us push, you know, our first playoff victory against the Red Bull. Definitely needed their energy, and we needed them to be screaming at us going into the tunnel at halftime, you know, to wake us up a bit. So they're a crucial part of the game. And yeah, I think growing up in that household and with that, with those roots, I'm just used to that and love it.
As somebody who's used to that and grew up in that international soccer community, you mentioned the growth of the sport here in the States. How cool is that for you as a player that's helped on being on the leading edge of that growth, to watch sort of the explosion that soccer's having in terms of the culture that's developing in all these different areas and the fandom that there is?
Yeah, it's been great to see the development of our game here and the sport. You know, I think in a lot of areas, it's the fact that it's being grown kind of organically, you know, within that community. You know, I think you've seen what Atlanta's been able to do. You see what's happening kind of, you know, it's the same with the coronavirus here, but in Nashville and other clubs, you know, Seattle, you know, Portland, all these fan bases, you know, the followings that they have and the kind of soccer culture they've gotten. You know, LAFC, I can mention that, you know, the wall that they have standing side of their stadium. It's all unique to that to those local communities, and that's what makes the soccer fan base and kind of culture so unique and so awesome. So I've seen it, from afar when I was away in Europe, developing here in MLS, and now firsthand the last 4 years. And it's great. It's much needed to continue the growth of our sport. And I think I can speak for any athlete and or for a fan for that matter, or people viewing that on TV. Sports is just not the same without fans.
I saw that you not only did you get the opportunity to play after Boston College, play in Sweden. I saw an article where you were asked a question about what it was like to play over there, and you indicated that your teammates wanted to know if college was like Animal House, Old School, and American Pie. How does that come up, and what was your answer to that?
Yeah, it's always interesting, right? Because here, at least growing up, it's always ingrained in me that education is the most important thing. It's very important, don't get me wrong. But, when you grow up in elsewhere in the world, where soccer is like the main sport and they live and breathe it and everything, that's everybody's kind of goal almost, is to become a professional soccer player. But that's just, very few actually make it. So here the route is to try to get a soccer scholar, or at least it was when I was growing up, and I was able to do that. But then you go to college, and it's like in Europe, you either make it or you don't. But here, if you get your education, you don't miss out on the college life, right? And college life is very fun. It's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun there, and that's what I kind of try to tell them. Obviously watching movies like Project X or whatever they are, things can get out of hand at times. We all know that. There's keggers and crazy house parties and things like that. But, at the end of the day, you can easily fail out if you don't focus on your studies, or, get kicked off your soccer team or your sports team if you don't abide by, the certain rules. So yeah, I think when I first went to Sweden, and I think in Sweden, they watch a lot of American TV. I could flip on any Swedish channel and they'd be showing reruns of Seinfeld or Friends or all these American movies, flicks that they love to watch out over there. And that was a big topic of conversation all the time, is they really would love to come visit me on the off season, to Miami or go to see New York or LA. And always talk about college. Like, I want to go. They'd want to experience college. And for me, it was so weird because I always wanted to become a professional, right? And so, but I had to go the college route where they didn't have that experience, as I would say. And I would think that college life is an experience that everybody should maybe have a couple of years of.
I enjoyed my time.
Well, so since they decided that they were going to come visit you. You're now a Philadelphian. If they come visit you here, I understand that you and your wife are art fans. Which museum are you going to take them to first?
Which museum? Well, the first thing they'd ask me whenever I come back home is, for whatever reason, they'd want me to shop for them. Like get Abercrombie and Fitch clothes, or I don't know, all these brands here. But I would definitely take them, obviously, to the Museum of Modern Art. The PAFA is also good. And the Barnes Foundation. The Barnes Foundation is a beautiful museum too. I think Philadelphia still. I would like to have better galleries in Philly. But those three are definitely some really good spots to go to.
Well, we thank you so much for giving us a couple minutes coming out of practice. Wish you great success and the best of luck in the game this weekend, and hope to get to talk to you again. Thank you so much for the time, Alejandro.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Have a great day.